everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Greetings, fellow lovers of the dark and macabre. Looking for more thrilling tales of true crime and suspense?
Then step aboard the murder coaster.
I'm Krista Carmen.
And I'm Matthew Brockmeyer.
And every week we bring you spine-chilling and disturbing true tales of murder and mayhem.
So strap in.
Keep your hands and feet inside the ride.
And prepare for a descent into the darkest realms of true crime.
On Murder Coaster Podcast.
Murder Coaster Podcast, available everywhere you get podcasts.
Due to the graphic and disturbing nature of the crimes discussed, listener discretion is advised. Retrostatic Radio presents Killing 15 Minutes.
Hello and welcome to Killing 15 Minutes, where you get your true crime fix in 15 minutes or less, or your podcast is free. I'm your writer, Sam Rossi, and shortly I'll be handing over a rough draft of a script to my brother, AJ, who hasn't read it, who's most likely has no idea what we're talking about. This should be fun. Good luck, bro.
Thanks, Sam. Ivan Hill, nicknamed the 60 Freeway Killer. It's not like I-60 or anything like that, it's just the 60 Freeway Killer?
Yeah.
Okay. Was an American serial killer who raped and murdered at least 8 women in Los Angeles, California between 1986 to 1994. Hill dumped his victims' bodies along the East-West Highway?
Yes, actually.
Goddamn California. Oh, also known as California State Route 60. The East-West Highway. The West City Norseman. Born on March 30th, 1961 in Los Angeles, Hill's father was abusive. On Christmas 1968, Hill's father shot his mother in the face with a .22 rifle and was then sent to prison. Despite the serious injury, she did survive to divorce him.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's not like some of the other people who would be like, yeah, he shot me in the face, but, I can work through that. Hill spent his teens in Pomona playing football and other sports. Many of his acquaintances from these days spoke very highly of him. In 1978, he became addicted to drugs and turned to crime in early 1979. In January of '79, Hill, along with accomplices, committed several robberies. On January 23rd, 17-year-old Hill, as well as 18-year-old Venson Myers... Venson? Venson.
Benson.
You wrote it. Why are you looking at me? Did I say Venson?
Yeah, that's Benson.
Robbed a liquor store in Glendora. Myers killed Thomas Lavella and severely wounded Keith Hunt. I'm assuming in the robbery?
Yes.
Myers was sentenced to life. Wow, that was short. Is this one of the Mandela effect things that we just saw change halfway through? The crime, his raping spree was done. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with no chance of parole. I don't know why you added. As a minor, Hill was guilty of complicity in murder. He received a short sentence to... Oh, right, Myers was the one who went to prison for life. I'm sorry, my brain read it as Hill was the one who did.
It's okay, I understand.
He received a short sentence due to cooperation. He received his high school diploma during his detention stint. And in the mid-1980s, he was paroled. He worked labor jobs before being arrested in the late 80s, released in February '93, and unable to find work, he turned back to crime. He was arrested again in early 94 and was sentenced to 10 years. While serving his 94 sentence, a blood sample was taken. He was due for release in February of 2004. In March 2003, Hill's DNA matched that of an unidentified serial killer.
Oh, good way to wrap the story around there.
Hey.
The serial killer had left his DNA during attacks of women in Los Angeles County from November 93 to January 94, as well as February 86 and 87. I need to teach you how to lay out dates.
Sometimes it's how they lay it out for me and I don't realize it.
Yes. On February 11th, 1986, Lorna Reed, a 35-year-old prostitute, was found strangled in Frank G. Bonelli Regional Park. Reed was considered to be the 16th victim in a string of similar murders. January 26, 1987, Rhonda Jackson's naked body was found in a dumpster in Palomares Park in Pomona?
Pomona, yeah.
It's Pomona, I know that. But it's Palomares Park?
That sounds right.
Or Palomares Park? I don't know.
California, it could be either way.
It could be many different ways.
This is true.
She had been strangled. On November 1st, 1993, Betty Harris, a 37-year-old, dying from cancer, was found strangled to death in Diamond Bar behind an industrial building. Diamond Bar is an actual place?
It seems that way.
On November 5th, 93, Roxanne Bates, a 31-year-old prostitute, was found strangled with either a cord or cloth in Chino. On November 14th, 93, Helen Hill, 36, was found in an industrial complex parking lot in the City of Industry. They don't really call it the City of Industry, do they?
There is a part of Los Angeles that is
just called the City
Industry City.
Well, is it Industry City or City of Industry?
No, I'm not sure.
Oh, jeez. Her hands were bound behind her back. Her mouth was taped, and she was strangled with 2 cloths. On November 16, 93, Donna Goldsmith was found strangled in an industrial area of Pomona. A strip of duct tape with a lipstick stain was found in a trash can near her body. On December 30th, 93, Cheryl Sayers was found strangled in Genesha Park in Pomona. You're the one who married someone from California. I don't know if I'm saying these right.
I don't even know if you're saying these
right. You have a wife. You could have asked her.
I should have.
Yeah! On January 12th, 1994, Deborah Brown was found strangled with a piece of blue fabric around her neck in San Antonio Park in Ontario. On October 23rd, 2006, his trial began. Voice recording of Hill's taunting phone calls to police were played. "I did it again," Hill said during a phone call after the killing of Brown. "What's this, number 5, 6? I forget, but she's there." Minutes later, he called back. "Y'all better catch me before I kill again." On November 17th, 2006, Hill was convicted on 6 counts of murder. On January 2nd, 2007, a jury sentenced him to death. March 21st saw a judge upholding that sentence. On May 15, 2009, Hill pled guilty to the killings of Reed and Jackson. As of November 2019, Hill is in San Quentin State Prison on death row. We don't do executions anymore, do we?
No, California had put a referendum?
Referendum?
That's it. On death penalty cases. So technically, he's now in Gen Pop. Because they've closed down death row.
Well, would death row still count for their lifers? Like, do they just
No, they end up in Gen Pop normally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I figured they'd stop that because Gen Pop and lifers never work out. But that's the public prison systems. And by that I mean it's the privatized prison systems. Yeah. But we're not getting into that. So, I don't know. The way this is laid out, he's definitely a career criminal. But then we get into the recidivism of, yeah, especially in like the 70s and 80s, it's like, what are you supposed to do after prison, you know?
Right.
There's, especially we see it a lot in the 80s. I'm assuming it was before that too.
I would assume so also.
But where it is hey, you went to jail, you're never working ever again.
Well, You
and
gotta
that
think.
usually pigeonholes them into being like, okay, so I've got to go back to my old crew. I've got to go back to my old lifestyle. It's actually why I've always felt that banishment was a much better.
Oh, we're back to the
punishment.
banishment.
I think an exile of some extent is a much better punishment. Let me rephrase: not a better punishment, but a better rehabilitation.
Okay.
Because ultimately, that's the biggest issue with U.S. prison systems, is that they've never been about. They used to be about rehabilitation, but now ultimately it's prison. It is a punishment.
Yeah.
So now you do your time, you do your crime, you do your time, you go back out on the street like nothing happened. Except now you also possibly have a better connection to the criminal element because prison is where all the criminals are. It's a great networking thing if you want to be a lifetime criminal.
Yeah.
Two, you get the what's that thing that the ostracization.
Ostracization.
You are ostracized because you went to prison. So who's going to hang out with, or how are you going to get paid?
Yep.
I mean, granted, but that's its own thing. It's interesting to see that the list of people that you've officially said were killed by him.
Yes.
It is weird that I think one of them, one wasn't a prostitute.
I think you're right.
Well, I mean, maybe the other one, because I didn't really, you know what I mean? But that he seemed to have a type.
Yes.
That a lot of serial killers do.
Yeah, it's because they're high risk victims.
They're at risk they're high risk, but also low risk. Their job is a high risk job.
Yes.
Their existence on the let's solve these crimes
Are on the low end.
Yeah, and luckily, I mean, yeah, still 2020 is, 2020s is still dark ages, especially now that every moron right-winger can be like, I have a blue tick now, so I can have the worst takes in the world, but it's engagement. We're seeing a lot more people try and be puritanical about sex workers.
Yeah.
But it is still better now than it was then.
Yes.
But, it's one of those, yeah, but it's still shit.
Yeah.
But, no, to me it's just interesting that, he went, there's several,
Yeah, there's still the fact that I think he was more of a serial killer just because they weren't able to connect him. If he would, if somebody was the 16th victim.
Well, that's where it is. It's like, you pointed out, it could be the 16th victim in this, but if there's another serial killer active, I mean...
Ed Kemper and Herbert Mullins.
Eddie and Herb.
So,
what's your take on him?
I think they're finding a lot of ways to solve crime with DNA testing now.
Right, because this was in 2003 he was linked in?
2003. And the 80s was the beginning of, where they would start, taking DNA
He's one of the
samples.
few people we've covered that is still alive.
We're starting to get into those people, or they're just dying off.
Well,
like Herbert Mullins died off in 2023 or 2022. Just after I wrote up his episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I found that out after.
Oh, neat. Do we need to do an addendum?
No.
Okay, good.
No, that's where he's overkilling.
Yeah, but that one's going to be one of our shortest.
Maybe. Depends on you.
I would actually also like to check out, this is just for me, an overkilling on our little shoe gremlin, the Oregon shoe gremlin.
You want me to do more on Jerry Brutos?
He intrigues me.
All right.
Which does not sound creepy at all.
I want to do an overkilling because Eddie intrigued me.
Well, and that sort of is, like, we glossed over a lot of the Oregon shoe gremlin.
We do.
I mean, I think it was only one sentence of, and he made, a resin mold out of one of his victims' breasts.
You're right.
That is a sentence by itself that needs to be unpacked.
All right, back to Hill here.
Hill, to me, comes off like less serial killer and more, he was a career criminal.
That just so happened to kill people?
That happened to have a side thing of, well, if I'm already robbing, if I'm already on the dredges of society, then why pay a prostitute when I can just rape and kill him?
Makes sense.
Which is a really sad thing to say. Pay your hookers, guys. If you can't afford it, grow a personality. Because it is one definitely thing that he was in and out of prison so much.
Yeah.
That it's just a neat thing, you know what I mean? Or not neat. He was in and out of prison so much that I don't think in his mind it wasn't I need to kill, I have the urge to, like...
No, I don't think he had the urges to kill.
It wasn't a psychopathic thing. It
No.
was a...
Symptom?
Sociopathic might be the better thing.
Maybe.
Because I think it was less about his brain psychology is off because of, internal things. I think it was his social perspective was off.
Okay.
Because of an abusive dad. His dad shot his mom in her face.
Yeah.
That's going to scar somebody.
That is.
And
Ruin
then
Christmas, too.
You know what I mean? Where it's like there's a difference between like
You think it's more of a social issue than...
I think he was still deranged to some extent, but I think it was while he could have easily had some form of issue, that what was normalized in his life justified the way he would go.
I see.
It's sort of like the one pimp we covered there.
Bland Lasser.
The bland guy that I can't remember. I'm not bothering with his name.
I just remember him because he's bland.
Did he, he killed women, yes. But he was also a pimp. He was also in the criminal element. So what was the value of human life what was the value he put on a human life?
Right.
The women probably thought more of his property than people. Let's be real.
Yep.
So, similar way of,
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It's, again, one of those interesting discussions of what makes a serial killer.
And one of these days we'll have the answer to that.
It's called having you as a sister. Do the lambs still keep you up at night, sister?
Wrap it up.
Okay. With all that said, I'm AJ Carey.
I'm Sam Rossi. Later, y'all.
Killing 15 Minutes is hosted by Arthur Carey, with scripts written and researched by Sam Rossi. If you like this episode or want to stay updated on this series, consider following Killing 15 Minutes on Patreon or Retrostatic Radio on all major social media platforms. Good night and God bless.
You're watching Retrostatic Radio.
Wheel of Random is turn, turn, turn. Tell us the 15 minutes we shall learn.
I'm Sam Rossi, writer and co-host of Randomly 15 Minutes, where the Wheel of Randomness gives me the topic and I write about it.
I'm Megan Klodnicki, and I'm the host of Randomly 15 Minutes. I cold read what Sam writes and learn in real time about a random topic.
You can find us on all major podcast platforms and YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook at Randomly 15 Minutes to get more random facts.